back to my channel. So today I'm showing you how to make these 4 cards. So I love every single one of these. You'll have to let me know down in the comments which is your favorite. Personally, I'm in a bit of the pink and purple maybe, but I wanted to give you a variety of something that's very simple, very quick to do, especially if you're doing last minute Christmas cards. So I'm taking the Holiday Ornament by Crafter's Companion, no, Colorado Craft Company, and it's the big and bold. So for the blue, I used tumbled glass, broken china, and faded jeans to give me the color that I wanted. So I'm going to work out where everything needs to go, and I just put a little pencil line there so I knew where each color needed to go. Now I have to say, I definitely recommend using Distress Oxides for ink blending. They're so much easier, they blend very better together. That didn't make sense, sorry guys. But yeah, no, they blend so much easier together, whereas you'll see in a second I try and make the purple blend it from a Distress Oxide to a Memento ink, which are totally different inks, and it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So do recommend using Distress Oxides with Distress Oxides. You can get away with using Distress inks with Distress Oxides, but again, you won't get that flawless flow, if that makes any sense. So at the minute, it doesn't necessarily look like I've got that much of a nice flow going through them, but once I've got all the colours on and then I go back in and blend them out again, they do blend a lot better. This video is actually inspired by somebody that I found on YouTube for the Colorado Craft Company Holiday Ornament, so I will link that video in my description so you guys can go and check that video out if you want to. But basically, the thing that is different is obviously we use different products, different colours. So she did do a blue version, but obviously the colour ink she used are totally different to the colours that I used. The embossing ink and powder we use together are different. The sequins I use at the end. So everything is just a little bit different, but to give the same version, I guess you could say. So I did ask her if it was okay if I recreated her cards, and she said yes, as long as I gave her a mention and also linked her video, which is fine. I totally understand that. Like, I don't necessarily mind people watching my videos and recreating things. You know, that's what we're here for. We're here to inspire and give you ideas. But sometimes it's just easier to copy, and I know some people can get a little bit upset about the whole copyright thing. But basically, what I tend to do is if I want to copy a certain design, I will message the person who's created it and just say, look, I want to make another video, but using some different products. And yeah, some of them will go, oh, I really don't want you to do that. You know, that's basically not fair for my video. You know, you can get more likes and stuff. So I totally understand it from that perspective. So if that's what happens, I tend to not do that card altogether, but you know, majority of people do enjoy seeing other crafters create something similar. You know, I'm one of those people, when I first started doing this, I didn't necessarily know where to go, what to start with, how to do it. So what I did is I just found some videos on YouTube and some pictures on Pinterest, and I was like, I've got all the products, I just need to copy what they do. And that's how I've learned how to like do certain techniques. Just practicing copying of other people really helps, especially when it comes to like color combinations, because sometimes I'm not really good at that and I'm like, oh, this looks good together, that doesn't. It's really annoying. So I'm one of those people that could style somebody else, but personally myself, I don't really know what color suits me best, so I am one of those people. So for the pink one, I used KITSCH Flamingo and picked raspberry, and for the purple one, this is where you'll see me try and mix the Distress Oxide in with a Memento ink. So the Distress Oxide I'm using is grape jelly. No, it's not grape jelly. I'll get it right. It's Wilted Violet. And the Memento ink one I use is called Lilac Pansies or Ponsies or Posies. I have no idea how you pronounce it. But you'll see me in a second. It just doesn't blend all too well, and I didn't like the like grainy effect that I was getting. Also, I bought some new sponge blenders, and the ones that I normally buy are from Spectrum No, but the ones I bought were from Ranger, and honestly they're not that good, so I don't recommend them. I definitely recommend the Spectrum No versions just because they're better quality, and when you take them off your dabber, it does not rip the black ink off them, whereas the Ranger ones, every single time I've tried to do it, it does. So, but as you can see, look at this, like, it looks awful. I do apologize, my nose is running, like, it's so bad. It's so cold today in my edit space, and I just haven't had time to put heating on or anything like that, but my body gets used to it eventually. But I may also be a couple of videos short for my Christmas card series, so if that's the case, I do apologize. It's just because I've gone from doing 7 days a week. No, wait, what day are we on? Now, I went from doing 6 days of night shifts from 10:30 till 10:30, and then I would sleep, and then I'd get back up around 2:30, and then I'd go into my craft room for a couple of hours, you know, and it didn't really change anything, and I was doing that every day from Monday to Friday in my craft room. So a lot of videos did get out that way, but because of my new job, I now work during the day, so I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so I can't really do any crafting because when I get home it's just too dark and my lighting is really rubbish in my attic, and plus I'm too tired to even think about it. So I only do card making on a Monday, Tuesday now, so a lot of videos that I have in mind don't tend to get done until those days. When I'm actually editing this, it is actually Sunday. My mom and my stepdad went out, so I decided I was just going to go up and edit and make another video. That way I can try and get some more done. Anyways, I'm stamping my image, and I highly recommend using a stamping platform for this because, as you can see, I've stamped this numerous times and it still hasn't given me the good impression that I want. So I'm using MEMENTO Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to be using Wow Gloss in clear to emboss this one. So this is my black and white card version, and you know, I love the black and white cards. You know, sometimes they can look a little bit boring and plain, but sometimes, you know, they just work. So I definitely recommend just having a play around. But the big and bold ones are really great for just getting something done quicker. I mean, I don't even have to color this in. You could, but I don't think I have patience to do that. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Oh, yeah. I haven't been to sleep yet. I've struggled for a couple of hours trying to get to sleep, so I just gave up. Plus, also, if you know, I was helping my dad with his work during the day when, obviously, I finish work. Sometimes I wouldn't actually go to bed. I would help my dad, which isn't really great, I have to admit, especially considering we're doing roofing jobs and you kind of need your, you know, your wits about you. So it wasn't really the best idea, but unfortunately he needed my help, especially with health and safety and stuff. Like, you always need 2 people there. So like at the moment it doesn't really matter because like he doesn't have that much work on because it's so cold and he can't really do anything. So it kind of works, but when it comes to summer again, he is definitely going to be struggling without having me there. But anyway, yeah, bring on. So the one I'm using right now is the DOVECRAFT embossing powder and powder ink. And then I'm going to use the Taylor White Expressions Fine White Detail powder. Now, it says it fine detailing. I don't think it is, to be honest. Every time I've done a word, you know, it doesn't necessarily always come out great. I don't know if that's just on me or if it's the powder, but it has happened quite a lot. But, you know, I think I paid like £4 for this embossing, so I'm not really going to complain. But I was looking at it the other day to try and see what the difference is between a fine detail embossing powder and a normal embossing powder, and it is basically the grain size of the powder. So the one that is the fine detailing is really small, like it's pretty much very, very tiny and you can't even see it, whereas normal embossing powder obviously has more grit to it, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Anyways, so we're gonna just obviously cover this. The brushes that I'm using are actually some brushes that I got from Poundland, which is a store we have in the UK, and it's actually the Daler and Ronnie Simply Round number 6 paintbrush. So these are watercolor brushes, but I bought them for embossing because the one I had seems to have disappeared. I cannot find it. like, I cleaned my craft room the other day. I'm gonna upload some pictures at some point. And then basically I totally lost quite a few things when cleaning up. I also did take a couple of things with me home to my dad's, so I don't know if they're there, but yeah, anyway. So I'm gonna stamp the little string, like, I don't know what you'd call this, but I'm not normally great with stamping stuff like this because I always get the line wrong up, so, and it actually turned out okay, so I was like, oh my god, that actually worked. But anyways, so I just stamped it in black on the black and white card, obviously, and then I'm gonna stamp using the clear embossing ink and then the powder again on the other cards, just so it all intertwines with each other. These have all been heat set as well. Also, a thing that I would like to give you some advice is definitely wait for your ink to dry for the background, because sometimes the powder sticks to it. So as you can see, I do need to wipe this card down once I finished embossing, because it still has the baby powder, so you know, it's not really as vibrant as it should be, but I totally forgot to do that. So I definitely recommend making sure you write things down. So yeah. So I added some baker's twine and then some black pearls from Little Things by Lucy's. And then I'm bringing in the blue and the pink, and I just added some sequins from the Entangled Frosted Pine, and then the sentiment, which I stamped out with the colours that I've already used, and the sentiment is from the same stamp set. And then the tag I used, I actually got off eBay, so I'll link that down below as well with the size. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did, and I added some Spectrum No Sparkle pen to the labels. But other than that, that is the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments which one was your favourite. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.